It's early for me, man.
Yeah.
But I don't drink a lot of coffee, but I probably should drink something. But
I'm not a big coffee drinker, but I decided to drink some today to wake me up.
just for yeah. Do
Yeah.
you normally get up this time or?
Mhm. Yep. Sometimes just naturally get up 7:30, just out of a dead sleep.
just
Uh,
just wake up like
I just wake up. Yeah.
I do notice though when I if I wake up and I'm wide awake, I just get up. Usually in the past, let's say if I was supposed to get up at like 9 and I wake up at like 5:30, I would just roll back to sleep. I would try. I would remember just waking up wide awake. Yeah, I'd get up and I'm wide awake and I would just try to go back to sleep. And I later for the next 2 hours trying to sleep. Now if I'm wide awake, man, I just get up and start going and
Yeah.
if I figure if I need to, I can take a nap in later on in the day or something. But
Yeah. I don't think I'm a 7, 8 hour guy when it comes to sleep. I think I'm really that person who needs only like 4 hours. And I love to sleep. Like I, I love to sleep, and you gotta recharge. But I don't think the full 7, 8 hours is really in me.
right.
Because my mind is just always going. Like I'm always trying to I always want to do something. I'm an antsy person, so
Yeah. No, I think I don't know. I for me, I think I'm more of like the 6 hour, 7 hour. I like my sleep. I
mm,
don't do well on just like 4 or 5 hours. But I mean, I've like today I had like 5 hours of sleep, if that.
mm,
But I feel fine right now. I know, but I guarantee you, it's like what, like 9 o'clock or something.
yeah,
Yeah, like well, about 9:30. So I know by the time like I'll say like 1 o'clock hits, right, I'm gonna be like zonked out. So I'll have to like nap. I love my naps.
yeah,
But yeah, I don't know if I tried sleeping for like I remember one day I just tried to sleep like I would just kind of catch up on sleep and I slept for like 10 hours, man, which sounds great, but I was more like drowsy feeling like I just couldn't. I think I slept too much. Once I hit like past like 7.5, 8 hours, it's like I feel like I could sleep all day long. So
right. Like I've had those sleeps where I just slept like 7 hours straight, and it felt great. But I just think because of the way my mind is, it's hard for me to always obtain that. Like I can't get that 7 days out the week.
yeah,
So it'll be like 5 hours here, six there, four here, wake up, then try to go back to sleep for 2 more hours. Like it's my sleeping pattern is weird, man. It's just weird. It's weird. I don't think I'll be able to like fully rest the way that I need to until I'm able to do what I really want to do in life. I think that's what really irks me. You know what I'm saying?
you
Like I'm
you
always stressed about the rat race. I'm always
right.
stressing about it. Like how can I get out of it? How can I, find fulfillment before I go? Like
Well, you're doing the right thing. You're staying busy, and there's a lot of people that if they I hear so many people complaining about being stuck, working jobs they hate, and then
yeah,
um, they don't try to invest time outside a job to better themselves. So you're trying to, unfortunately, you're hustling, bustling. But I mean, you're gonna no matter what, you're gonna have to like even if you enjoy, even if you're doing, if you're working your career full time,
you're still gonna have to bust your butt.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure. I agree
you
with
can't
that.
be lazy.
Right,
So
but it'll be fun, hard work.
yeah,
Like when I record, like I put a lot into it. There's a lot of different takes I got to do and listening back, and then sometimes I'll rewrite things. So there's hard work, but it's fun. And that's the hard work that I want. That's what I want to do.
hmm
So when I find that, I'll be able to sleep better.
going back on sleep though, I always this crazy. Like there's so much different like theories on like there's always debates on anything, especially like I have people say you're supposed to get 8 hours of sleep,
Mm,
but then there's people saying years ago before people worked 9 to 5 jobs,
mm.
people would sleep for like 4 hours.
Yep.
They would do like 4 and 4, so they would sleep for 4 hours, and like whatever time they woke up, they're like if they just happen to naturally wake up, you get up and go. Usually before like before even light comes out, you get up and I don't know if you're doing work or you're working on a farm or something or whatever it is. If you're just people just get up, even if they're not working, if they're reading or something, they just got like little small projects. They just get up and
Yeah.
they don't sleep for 8 hours, and then maybe they used to have when they had like breaks for work.
Mm,
They would, even I think some countries now still do that. Like they'll send people home from You
Yeah.
know, go home for like the next several hours, and they would sleep for a few hours then if they wanted to, whatever. So they slept. They might have slept like 6 or 7 hours a day, but they didn't do it all at one time.
Me and my boss just had that conversation about that probably about a couple weeks ago about somewhere, I don't know where it is, where they actually do that,
Right.
which is crazy. That's crazy. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it seems like. I mean, I think it's when people say to sleep 8 hours straight. I think it's they're trying to fit that 9 to 5 schedule,
Hmm.
which is part of the rat race, the corporate America thing. So it's easier for them to have somebody working 8 hours straight,
Hmm.
as opposed to okay, well you can work 4 hours and then come back and then you go. I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I think it's just a business move.
It is,
So
and I understand it too. Like I get it. You know, you need that 8 hours if you're going to be working 8+ hours at work. You know that day, or if that's your schedule. Like I understand it. I get it. I just know for me, like I'm just I'm too much of a creative thinker, you
yeah.
know. And not only that, I think deeply about where I want to be in life. So like that's what messes with my sleep a lot.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
know, and like it's just I don't know, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure you get it. Like there'll be times where you don't even sleep. Like you'll be writing something till like 3, 4 in the morning.
yeah. All the time.
You know what I mean? Because like that's just how we operate. You know?
Yeah. It happens at least for me at least once a week where I I just wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I mean I could have fell asleep at 11. Well, I've been trying to go to bed earlier.
Mm,
I didn't do it till last night, but I try to go to bed earlier so I can get up and be productive. But there have been times where I would just wake up at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I have this idea,
yeah.
and I can't go to sleep until I write it down or something. That it happens to me at least once a week where I wake up and I start writing stuff, and next thing you know, like that's how we wrote that the Christmas Carol stuff. Like I woke up at like 4 o'clock in the morning,
Mm,
I was like I gotta write this down. Like it's just I had like some kind of I had a dream where I thought because it was Christmas almost that week before Christmas whatever. So I was thinking of like I had like this dream where somebody would come in the house and then like they're getting bombarded by like a Christmas Carol. Like it's so that's how it started.
yeah.
And I was like, oh well, we gotta figure out like okay, what about how does it start? So I always know like I know how I want it to end, and like how it starts is to bring the beginning and the ending together to kind
Mm,
of make sense, and so that was just a prime example. Even the movie I'm writing now, I wake up and I have like ideas for scenes.
yeah.
Now obviously that was this is writing a full film is different because you try to um, keep the whole story going. Like I'm at I think I'm close to around like 55 pages into it.
Yeah.
So I'm around the halfway point of film rating, and it's just a rough draft. But I'm constantly I have to keep notepad even throughout the day, just because I'm always thinking of ideas. And if I don't write it down, dude, I forget it, man.
Yeah. I need to start doing that, man, because lately I haven't even told anybody this. Like lately I've been dreaming like you have been dreaming like mini movies with like there's like a whole plot, there's an intro, there's a body, there's a conclusion, and I'm like, yo, where did that come from? Did I watch something that inspired this? And then like I'll wake up and I'll think about it, but I won't write it down. And I'm like, man, that would make a great little movie or a music video or whatnot. So
Yeah,
like my brain has just been crazy lately, and I need to start jotting these down before I just forget them like I have been forgetting them, man. But once again, it's one of those things that just messes with my sleep. I'm just always thinking of a way to create and thinking of a way to allow my creativity to be my primary job. You
yeah, no, I dig it, dude. Especially like we mentioned about dreams.
know. Hmm.
I as far as making movies, that's cool. Most of my stuff never makes sense, man. Like I've always, I'll have like I'll have a dream where like I'm being chased by like some dinosaur like for no reason, and then like
Yeah.
I'm in a parking ramp, so I have to jump out and then like, but most people would jump out, you splat, but
Right.
I jump out, I either fly off or I jump into some yes like last night I had a dream that like I just jumped in some kind of vehicle at like 100 miles an hour and I jump in and just landed right into it like perfect like James Bond man
Yeah.
just fall
Yeah.
right into it, and then like you're like okay where do you go from there? I don't know. All of a sudden, like the street turned to a beach or something. Now I'm
Mm.
driving on an ocean. Like
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
This is like
Yeah.
some sci-fi stuff, man.
Yeah.
And so I always wake up, and if I have those weird dreams, I'll wake up and if I wake up to it, I'm like, I'll actually before I fall asleep, I'll try to like finish the story or something. Like in my head, I'm laying there like, okay, and his vehicle turned to a private a boat or something. You're like, okay, or she'll have like this red Ferrari jumps right into and it turns into like a yacht or something.
Yeah.
So I don't
It's
know.
crazy. Yeah, I've had dreams that didn't make sense, and now they're starting to make too much sense. I'm like, okay,
Uh,
something has to happen here. Either I need to write this
yeah,
down
you should.
or something, man. Yeah, I need to get into that. I really need to get into that. I used to do it here and there, but it wasn't frequent. But now I'm gonna just start. Whenever I have a dream that's like incredible, I'm gonna just write it down as soon as I get up.
Right. I had some real fun dreams and
Right.
I like jumping in the Ferraris and stuff, man. That's cool.
See, I never had a cool dream like that.
Just because I've seen that same thing happen in all these movies, like not just like in Batman movies, but they're like someone just always like just they just happen to jump in like some Vin Diesel movie or something. They just like
Yeah.
he just happen to just perfectly falls in there, into the seat. And when your kids like, how did he do that? Like they're like they staged that. They're not actually like in a real street. Half the stuff's in the green screens and everything now. You're like, oh.
Right. Yep. I think when you become an adult, it becomes a little less appealing because it's fake now. And
Yeah.
like there's stunt doubles and there's CGI and there's green screen and you kind of can tell nowadays. But
Yeah. Dude, that's like watching like professional wrestling. I remember like when I was watching as a kid, I was convinced how real it is. I'm like, oh look, they're really hitting each other, and it's like,
yeah,
but they're like not really punching. So
not. Yeah, oh my god.
what they do is like they stomp the ground, just like boom.
Yeah.
You're like the head snap back. They practice this stuff. Like we want you to sell it. If not, like you're gonna get really good punch. So sometimes they do really punch them, but most times it's like and they sell it really good. Sometimes they oversell it. So
I mean, you watch it now. It looks super cheesy. It looks faker than it did back in the day.
I remember my parents. I was watching with them. And I said, "Dad, this is I can't believe he's doing it." They're like, "You realize that's fake, right?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "What?" Like, yeah, the moves, a lot of it's real, but that guy's gonna win that match. They already wrote down who's gonna win the storyline, and it broke my heart. Just like when my parents told me saying it wasn't real, So I mean, I still watched it years after that, but it was in a stage of now I know it's fake. So
yeah, my brother used to come over every Monday, and he didn't have cable at his house, so he would come over to our mom's, and he would watch wrestling. He would go back and forth between WWF and WCW, and I would just sit there and watch it with them. And I was just amazed by it, and I was amazed by the storyline, and it was like a soap opera, for guys.
yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, that's all it was. It was one big, macho soap opera.
It's like Days of Our Lives in the wrestling ring.
Yeah, that's all it was. But it was so back in the day, just the '90s period, man. Everything was so good to watch. Like the content was just, I don't know. There's just something about the '90s, man. From wrestling to cartoons.
What show do you like watch as a kid?
I was a big Doug fan.
Dude.
Hey Arnold, Seabear and Jamal.
Okay.
What else did I watch? Oh, Rugrats, of course.
Yeah.
Rocco's Modern.
I was like Rocco's, Cat Dog. What about Cat Dog?
Cat Dog. Yeah. And then when I got a little older, it was like Teen Titans, Kids Next Door. That type of stuff.
Yeah.
Courage, the Cowardly Dog.
What about Johnny Bravo, man? Johnny Bravo was like,
Bravo. Space Ghost.
Oh,
Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all of that, man. I mean, I don't think Recess, I don't know if I said that or not, but Recess, I don't really think there was any bad cartoons, like, back in the day. I mean, even, like, David the Gnome was hard. Like...